Hey boys and girls, so today I'm going to read you the story called Who's Got Spots? It's by Linda Williams Aber. We're reading the story today because next week we're going to start learning more about graphing and data, different ways to represent that data. So this is just a little story to get us started. When we finish reading the story, you have a Google form to fill out using some of the illustrations, some of the graphics from the story. So, who's got spots? Good luck, called Kip's dad. This was the day Mrs. Beck was going to announce the solo singer for the Autumn Fest. Kip was hoping it would be him. Kip could hardly sit still. He was too excited. He was also worried. What if Mrs. Beck stood up in front of the whole class and said someone else's name? What if the name she calls is Kip? Mrs. Beck announced with a big smile. Kip will be our solo singer. All the kids cheered. For the first time since tryouts, Kip relaxed. What a great day this was turning out to be. Practice for the Autumn Fest began right away. It takes many voices to make a chorus, said Mrs. Beck. Kip will sing the solo, but each one of you is important, so be sure to come to every practice. Don't worry, said Kip. He was sure that nothing would get in the way of their show. But the next day, Kip found out that something was getting in the way. I have bad news, said Mrs. Beck. 3 people in the chorus have chicken pox. Travis, May, and Corey. All the kids began talking at once. Have you had it? I've had it already. Will I get it? Do you get the chicken pox from a chicken? A chicken? Oh no, said Mrs. Beck. You catch it from someone who has it. The good news is that once you get the chicken pox, you can never get it again. Still, the room buzzed with worried voices. What about the show? Cried Kip. Well, let's see, Mrs. Beck said. There are 15 people in our chorus. We can perform if at least 10 are well by the date of the show. What are the chances of that? Whispered Alice, the girl next to Kip. Chickenpox is really contagious. I know, said Kip in a worried voice. Mrs. Beck sighed. All we can do is wait and see. Who knows what will happen in the next 2 weeks? Waiting won't take the worry away, Kip said to Alice on the way home from school. I wish I could figure out what the chances are for 10 of us to be well on the day of the show. Ha! Alice laughed. Do you have a crystal ball that tells about chickenpox? A smile spread across Kip's face. I'll talk to you later, he said. I'm going home now to make something that will tell us more than a crystal ball. I'm going to make a chart. Three kids have chickenpox now, Kip thought. It only lasts 7 to 10 days. So they'll be better in time for the show. He made 3 marks. Did I skip a page? Okay. So he's making his chart. He made 3 marks in the Have It Now column. Then he made 1 mark under Never Had It. That mark was for himself. Kip looked at the chart. The Had It column didn't have any marks yet. 11 kids to call, he said. Better get started. Kip called Alice first. I'm doing a chickenpox survey, he told her. Have you had it? I had it last year, Alice said. You went trick-or-treating for me because I couldn't go out, remember? That's right, Kip said. He marked his chart. Kip made more calls. Everyone had something different to say. I had it, Jim said. I was scratching the whole time I was away at camp. I'll shut the doors and turn the locks. I'll never get the chicken pox, rhymed Kelly. Chicken pox? I had 219 spots, wailed Anna. My mom made me wear mittens so I wouldn't scratch, Matt told him. Kip called Sophie and Chloe next. Neither of them had had chicken pox. 2 more in the never had it column, he thought. Only 4 more calls to make. So he's calling all of the chorus members and he's making his chart. Never had it, had it, have it now. The next day, Kip showed the chart to the class. Look, he said, we have 7 kids for the show. How do you figure that? Asked Rob. Like this, explained Kip. 4 kids had chicken pox already, so they can't get it again. The 3 kids who have it now should be better in plenty of time to sing. That's 7 kids. All we need is 10. I get it, said Amy. So at least 3 more of us have to stay healthy. That's in this chart. From that second on, everyone who had never had chickenpox tried everything not to get chickenpox. Amy started wearing a mask she got from a doctor's office. Don't breathe on me, she said to everyone. Fred wore gloves all day. A glove a day keeps the germs away, he said. Jackson sprayed germ killer on the chairs in the classroom. Just to be extra safe, he whispered. And Kip tried very hard to sing with his mouth closed. To protect my throat, he mumbled. The next day, Chloe, Fred, and Sophie were absent. Chicken pox, Mrs. Beck said sadly. But Travis, May, and Corey will be back tomorrow. Uh-oh, said Kip. My chart doesn't work so well anymore. I can't keep track of who's sick and who isn't. How about making a graph with the kids' names on it? Alex suggested. We can use sticky notes. Great idea, said Kip. Then we can move them around if things change. Whew, Kip said when they were finished. It's 2 days till the show. If nobody else gets sick, we'll have 12 kids. So you can see that they took their data from the chart and they made a graph now. And the same information on the graph. The day before the show, Mrs. Beck had some more bad news. Kelly and Jackson, she said, shaking her head. Chicken pox. Oh no, Kip thought, we're down to 10. He turned to Rob and Amy. Okay, you guys, none of us can get sick. That night, Kip made a terrible discovery. When he took off his shirt, he looked at his stomach and gasped. Oh no, I've got a spot! Kip felt like crying. I have to be in the show, he thought. I just won't tell anyone. Kip crawled under the covers. In the darkness, he thought about his solo. He didn't feel good about it anymore, and he knew why. Kip sat up and shouted, Mom, Dad, I have chicken pox! His parents hurried into his room and turned on the light. Kip showed them the spot. Dad looked closely and then he laughed. You have chicken pox? He said. That's just a freckle. And the next spot Kip saw was the spotlight shining on him as he sang his solo perfectly. And that is the end of Who's Got Spots. Alright, now you're going to go to your Google form and answer some of the questions.